Welcome to outer space. Or I guess I'm the one in outer space. You're probably like at home or at work or on a bus. But if you are in outer space, welcome to the stream. You may not know this, but I've rearranged all of my. You can't see it. You can only see me. You just see me in the usual business. Hey, Terrace. But I've rearranged everything. I have a new monitor, and my mic is in a slightly different place. Chat, you're over here now. Hi. Hi, chat. Hello. So get used to this side of my face instead of you normally being over here. I put you over here now. We're going to try it out. We're going to try out a different situation. So hello. Hi, everybody. Welcome. Today, we're going to be doing a bit of last minute kind of prep and assuredness that we are ready for the next episode of Far Verona, a.k.a. Not Swan Song 2, a.k.a. Game of Space, Stars Without Number. Welcome. So we're going to do that thing. I don't think that I have like a ton of GM prep to do. I've set aside a couple of hours, but I can't imagine it's going to take that long unless we spiral into a deep dark place. So early on in a show, just to kind of give you an idea of like what I usually do. Early on in a show, I tend to prep relatively heavily for stuff. I tend to prep pretty heavily for each episode as we kind of warm up. And this isn't just like me warming up to the players, but like them warming up to each other, all of us kind of getting into the world like together and working out kind of where we're at, right? So it does require for me a little bit of extra work. And I've just been doing that more like publicly. Because, you know, y'all are interested in Far Verona content. So I thought it might be worth doing that, even though it may not take very long, right? Doing a short stream, just kind of like sitting down and looking at what we need to look at. And these streams will likely become less and less frequent as the show goes on. We'll keep obviously doing the faction stuff and all the lore stuff and everything. But the actual GM prep tends to take up less and less of my time as we go, right? Like when was the last time I did a Court of Swords prep stream? Right? Like when was the last time I needed to sit down and really like work out several hours of content for that? It's been a while, right? Like I think before the live show or maybe right after the live show. So yeah. So we're gonna be doing this. Here, let me take you over to my Google Doc. You ready? Here we go. There it is. There's the Google Doc. Daunting, I know, that blinking cursor. GM prep for episode 2. So the stuff that I need to do today is, first of all, I want to review the combat rules because episode number 2, aka the one where they fight the synth, because, you know, there was the breaking of handcuffs and the shouting and the punching. So I guess what I need to do is just review the combat rules. Let's come up with some priorities here. So review combat. Thank you, Spanky. Welcome back. So review combat. Stat out crux officers and illegal synthetic. So I need to have stats for them for the fight. And then I guess on planet Fallout. And then return to ship, which maybe they'll get to, maybe they won't. I guess we'll see. So that's the jam. No, his girlfriend, the Dex synth girlfriend has no stats. No, she has 1 hit point, AC 10, and a 9 in everything, and no skills. She's a nobody. She's just like, if someone shoots near her and like gets a critical fail, maybe she'll take a bullet. Maybe if she doesn't comply, one of the officers will have to make a will save or whatever, a mental save to not flip out and shoot her. That would be a fun complication, right? But she may be complicit in some crimes herself. We'll talk about the legality of her situation when we get to it. So, okay, so let's start with the start. Let me take a look at the rules for combat here. So we talked a little bit about this before. We did this during the rules review. We looked at it. Let's take a look at combat here. So combat begins with initiative, which is a D8, and everyone adds their dexterity modifier. Now, I need to remember, I'm going to put this in my notes. Here, combat stuff. Okay, so remind, who was it that had secret information? So who was it that had, alert, was it? Oh yeah, look, we have new character sheets. Oh, I forgot to tell you about this. Check this out. So the Stars Without Number character sheets are all updated, and they look all bomb now. I wish that I could give proper credit to whoever was responsible for this, but they're hype as fuck now. They look really good. And here, let me roll. How do I roll a skill? I actually haven't looked at the character sheet yet. So, is there like a thing that I click to raise a? How do I do this? What the hell is happening with these skills? Anyway, they look great. I'm looking for who has this ability. I don't want to get caught up in the character sheets. I'll look at these later. So Ironhide, Tinker, and Hacker. Okay, it's not Riley. It's not. Let's see. Is it Nomi that has the thing? No, it's not Nomi. Nomi has Diplomat. It's not that they. No, it's not that they don't. It's not that they don't look. It's not that they don't function. It's just I haven't looked at them yet. They're brand new. I just don't. I'm not familiar with them yet. Right. That's right. Yeah. There's the quick menus up here. That's right. There it is. So there's functions, and then you click there. Okay. Got it. Okay. Anyway, I'll look over this character sheet later. Anyway, the point being, I'm looking for the player that has the thing. Let's see. Booker, do you have it? Alert. There it is. Okay, so Booker and I think Jason might have it too. Jason Argus. So this is the kind of stuff that I want to like check on, right? Like who has what abilities. Okay, yeah. Can't be surprised. Can't be executed. Roll twice in initiative. Okay, so my first note here is remind Booker and Jason to roll twice on initiative. Okay, so that's the first thing I got to do, because that's the thing that they do. All right. So they need to roll twice on initiative, which means they're going to get the drop probably on this dude, and that's cool for them. Booker and Jason are both real close to him, so that's nice. So they'll probably shoot him. This might be over right quick. We'll see stat block wise kind of what we got. But that's good. Okay. So we remind them to roll their initiative twice. Let's take a look at what they can do. So on their turn, they're going to get to do a main action. Now, Jason doesn't have a weapon out, right? Jason, no, that's not true. He has his stun baton. So he snapped out his baton. So Jason has his baton, and then Booker does have his gun in his hand. He did mention that. So they can take action. They can take shots right away if they want. So they can do a main action, which is to say, take that shot, right? Make a ranged attack or make a melee attack. They have weapons that are at the ready. So that's cool. So yeah, hopefully if they're lucky, this'll end, the actual combat will end quickly. And they can also make a snap attack. So remind them snap attacks are a thing. So that's my next note. So if the synth wins initiative, remind everyone about snap attacks. So the idea of the snap attack is that they can pull a gun and fire before they have a chance to aim. So it gives them an opportunity to kind of act with like a bad shot, essentially. They can take a snapshot and probably miss, but that's okay. Okay, so that's something else that I want to make a note of. And then they can move. And when they move, they can move up to 10 meters. So, not bad. Did I set a scale for my map in Roll20? This is just like, whatever. It's just like a thing. I just set them as units. Let's go ahead and change this to meters. Boop. And we'll call each hex, I don't know, 2 meters. No, that changes the size of the hex, but that's fine. Okay, so let's just rearrange. So Booker, Dex, Jason, Soldier. We can just like kind of extend this out, this wall a little bit. And then everybody else is pretty much kind of in the same place. Okay, yeah, that looks good. Okay, so this is like my really janky map. It's not like fancy, obviously, but it's just to help us understand where everybody is. Eventually, I'll get tokens. I'll cut tokens for Riley and Nomi. Actually, Nomi's up here. Riley and Nomi and Booker and Jason at least. So we'll get some tokens cut for them. But right now, this is just to make sure we know where everybody is. So everybody's pretty like in range of everybody else. And actually, I'm gonna make one unit. We're gonna do this. Yeah, let me fix this because we wanted them to be. They want to be two units apart, so it's like more like that. Because I said they were like 10 feet, right? Yeah. Okay, that looks better. That's more what I imagined. So Riley and Nomi, and the other soldier was like there-ish. That looks about where we had everybody. Okay, good. All right. This is like I'm really like picking over this way more than I need to. We're mostly gonna theater of the mind this thing, but I just wanted to have a general idea of how far apart everybody was. Okay. So yeah, they can move. They can take their on-turn action. I think this will go quick, unless there's like a bunch of really bad rolls, in which case, who knows? So we got to remember. No, go back to my PDF. We got to remember these circumstantial modifiers, right? Shooting at a distant prone foe, shooting or meleeing an adjacent prone foe, etc. Like there's some other stuff going on with the attack, because there's a little bit of a tangle going on. So yeah, I think that we'll probably treat it fairly simply. Okay, all right. So we'll see how they roll. This combat could go quick. It might not. I need to stat out. Oh, also, the officer that is near Serica has Lazarus patch. You know, just in case. Okay, so that's important. Okay. You know, just in case somebody gets shot real bad. Okay, so combat I don't think is going to be too complicated to worry about. I think it's going to be fairly straightforward. That should be fine. Okay, all right. Let's take a look at what I need for stats. So Crux officers. These guys are not particularly like tough or cool. So let's just grab some generic like cop stats. I think there's like a block of generic stats for the characters somewhere in here. Let's take a look. It's in like the GM toolkit, I think. And actually, I should give these guys proper character sheets. I should probably give them proper character sheets. Okay. But first, let's find some stats. So this is all character creation stuff. Here, let's go like this. Make a new NPCs folder, and we're going to make... What's this guy's proper name? Illegal synthetic number 665A-22X. Yeah, there he is. Okay. All right. And then he is an NPC. And stat block. Oh, there you go. Okay, that's nice. Good. So it hasn't built into the sheet. Fantastic. All right. So I'm going to modify him. He is a martial human, I think. 1 hit die, 15 saves, 1 skill, 8 morale, attack bonus 1. I'm bumping his AC up. What is the toughness thing gives you 15 AC? I think is his jam. 16. Okay. And then unarmed attack, and we also talked about his strength and whatever being like higher. So yeah, I'm gonna give him 6 HP, and let's see, how much damage does an unarmed attack do? A punch. Hitting an enemy. Let's see. Successful inflicts damage equal to weapons damage die plus a relevant attribute modifier, which was his strength. Yeah, he's built for industrial labor. Yeah, so he's pretty tough. Melee weapons. Here we go. 1d2 plus strength. Okay. I think I want to give it 1 shock too, because I think he punches real hard. 1 shock AC 15. Yeah. No burst. 1d2 plus, what do we say? His strength. It's weird to me that it doesn't show like stat blocks for this guy. But that's okay. 1d2 plus 2 for the attack, and then he had an additional bonus for his thing. Okay, so if he hits you, you're fucked, right? Okay, but he doesn't have any. He doesn't have any like weapons. He's just tough. He's hard to kill, and he hits hard. Okay, all right. So basically, any of the PCs, if they hit him, they're gonna take 1 shock damage. If they have AC less than 15, which I don't think anybody does, but you know, just in case. And then yeah, and then he'll. Oh, I see. This whispers, so y'all won't see these when we actually post them. Okay, that's really cool. All right, good. Okay. So there's my illegal synthetic, and then I need another character that is generic Crux officer, retirement specialist, and these guys, they're not great. These guys are basically just martial humans. Crux officer, they have same jam, 6 hit points. Oh, I should give this guy an ability too. It's so interesting they don't give the character sheet doesn't give skills for these things. So exert, I guess, it's like a +1. And then like punch, also a +1, I suppose. Okay. All right. So that's good. And then these dudes, Crux officers, they probably have shoot +1. Oh, schnoot. Good stuff. I'll spell it right eventually. Shoot is a +1. They're not highly. When did I say they were highly trained? Like, they've got a lot of practice in simulation, but these are people who are less. They have to, by definition, be less good than the PCs. So that's how it goes. Okay, so they have what do we say? Laser rifles, I think, was the weapon that they were using. Not heavy weapons, general equipment. Yeah, they're highly trained. There's a skill field on the sheet. Where did I? Where do I? Why am I not seeing that? +1 skill. This is a roll. Yeah, this is to roll. These are all quick rolls. NPCs get a bonus to relevant skills. Okay, all right, there you go. Yeah, that's what I thought, because they're flattened out. Okay, so anyway, laser rifle. And they have 1d8 damage. Let's see. Ranged weapons. Here we go. laser rifle. Here we go. 1d10. They have burst mode. And dex attribute. Okay, so they have generic stats. So damage is 1d10. Ask for burst. Let's try it. Let's see how it goes. This is a really interesting way to do this. Like, I've never seen a character sheet that drops stuff in chat and then you select from there. Nice. Holy shit. These guys are ace. All right, cool. I like it. It's very fancy. I love these little things. This is how you make a character sheet look nice. Is the roll macros, fancy ass roll macros. All right, so that's it. They also have armor. What is some like generic crappy armor that they probably have? Like cop armor. They would be wearing security armor, which is AC 14. Probably. Security armor is what? Ordinary working uniform of most law enforcement officials. Perfect. All right, so they have AC 14, which means they're not protected, unfortunately, from the punch. The punch will just break through their armor. They'll take that shock damage if they get hit. Best armor a TL3 world can manufacture, or an armored version. Yeah, they don't wear up armored security. No, they just wear security armor. So AC is 14 for these guys. But they have 6 hit points. So actually, we should roll. We should be fair. We should roll. Let's roll a d6. Okay, they have 5 hit points. All right, cool. So that's AC. I don't understand that. Okay, combat, I guess, is the stat there. There we go. Okay. Yeah. So they're much better. There's 2 of them. They're much better hit point wise. But like, I mean, let's do a quick check here. Let's imagine that our illegal synthetic. Oh, I get it. Once it's in the chat log, you can just click it there. You can just scroll up and click it. Oh, interesting. Okay, we're gonna have to take a minute to go over these character sheets as like with the players, just to remind them, because it's brand new. I'm glad they didn't have a ton of time to work with the other one. Okay, so illegal synthetics gonna try to punch one of these soldiers, so we got to put his attacks in chat, and then does the unarmed, and his modifier is 1 because he's punching, and he gets a 15, so he hits and does 3 damage to one of the soldiers. Bam! Throat chop. Cool. All right. Got it. All right, so we got stats for them. They're ready to go. Serica has 1 HP and no armor, and if she gets hit, she's fucking dead. But I hope she doesn't die, because she's going to be interesting for what comes after all this silliness. Okay, so we have the stats. We got that sorted out. Stats and roll 20. And then I guess we should talk about what the NPCs want in combat. So Dex will attack anyone near him, then make a run for it. But he's concerned about Serica, and if she's threatened, he'll fight to protect, save, or avenge her. Sorry. Dex. The Crux officers will attack the synth, but let's skip them on the first round. But they're surprised and skip the first round. Give the PCs a chance to do something, and maybe give Dex the chance to kill one of the officers to show how tough. Like, we had to kill a red shirt, right? And then yeah, they'll surprise and they'll skip the first round. Then they'll follow orders if they're given, or else shoot to kill on the synth. If Serica makes an aggressive move, then one of the soldiers kills her. She'll do this if she thinks Dex is about to be killed or if he takes a hit. There you go. Okay. So that's how that goes. You saw it, she had a knife. So yeah. He's like fighting with Jason. It'll depend on what Jason wants to do. There isn't like a grapple yet, but yeah, that'll be the thing. Dex wants Serica to run. Serica wants to stay and protect. I changed her name. Her name's Sarika. She wants to make sure he's safe because she thinks he's human. He will fight to protect her, but he also wants to make a run for it because he doesn't want to die, especially if that means leading them away from her. And then the officers downstairs are still damn far away. They'll take a long time to get to the fight. If Dex gets away, say, I don't know, like 2 rounds of running without being shot, etc., he makes it to a stairwell, and 50-50, he goes up to the roof or down to the lobby. We might get like a rooftop like shootout situation. Okay. All right. Cool. And then yeah, right. Don't follow a bad guy into the stairwell. Yeah, I don't think we're ready for our tears in rain moment yet, but we do have the drifting fungal snow, so there's that. All right, cool. Stats are in Roll20. We got that. So this whole fight situation will take likely the first like hour or so, I imagine, like shooting and running, and it depends on how it goes. Somebody might get shot. He might like stop, like don't shoot. So the thing here is that Dex knows. Okay, so a couple of notes on Dex. So a couple of things. So he knows he's a synth. He knows that Sarika doesn't know he's a synth. He won't admit to it while she's around, right? He doesn't want her to know. He'd rather die than let on. Let's see. So Sarika denies vehemently that he's a synth, even if he admits it. Right? She's like, no, that's impossible. That's impossible. I love you. You're a person. That couldn't be. Couldn't be. She'll deny it vehemently. He'll deny it as long as she's around. But if he's alone with the players, he might be like, fine, fuck you. You got me. I'll turn myself in, but you have to promise to let her go. She didn't know. She didn't know at all. Like he cares. He cares about her. How does a synth not know they're a synth? Lots of them don't know. Yeah, there's definitely like a double-digit percentage of the synths that were raised as humans. Totally. Yeah. No, she's not a synth. Is she freaked out when he busted out of the handcuffs? But that was a please don't get shot. Like, oh God, like watching someone fight the cops. You're like, no, you're gonna get murdered. Don't do it. Okay. So yeah, let's talk about Fallout. It's a series of video games, but it's about the post-apocalypse. Came out in the mid-90s. So let's talk about the fallout of this situation. So, if Dex is killed in the fight, then Sarika believes it is injustice and hates the Crux, but doesn't fight back. She just denies everything and basically just loses her shit. Big weepy mess, right? They killed her boyfriend because these assholes thought that he was a synth. What else happens if he's killed in the fight? Basically nothing else, right? Like, the PCs probably think they're done. What else could possibly happen? If... Oh my god, why is this not... Come on, God, Word documents and your justification. I want to start a new list. No, a new list. Oh god, I hate word processors. Here we go. Okay. So if Dex escapes somehow, Sarika, I guess, gets apprehended. And then she denies everything. Except, but thinks secretly that Dex would never leave her. He does. Trying to get off-world as soon as possible. For her own good, he has to leave her behind. So yeah, she doesn't know what. So if he escapes, and then I guess they could try to follow. They could try to follow him, right? Okay. So then, if he escapes, if he's killed in the fight, if the PCs convince him to surrender, I don't know how they would do that, but then they can execute or interrogate him as they like, I guess. Right? They're in control. This is just, they go back to right where they were before when they had him, like, handcuffed. Okay. So I think those are kind of the three options, right? I guess, like, the other option is, if Dex somehow kills everyone? I don't know. GG. Like, I guess that's the other thing that could happen, I suppose. Okay, so let's talk about Aftermath. There's not just the synth to deal with. If the PCs are successful in capturing or retiring Dex, then they still have to deal with Sarika and the Eridanus Count? Baron? Baron. The Eridanus Baron. Because it's illegal to harbor a synthetic, whether you realize you're doing it or not. Sarika, by having Dex in her apartment, living with her, has broken the law. Punishment for this is typically indentured servitude to the Empire. So she'd become property of the local ruling noble, which would be either, which is technically the Eridanus Baron, except the Eridanus Baron is employing a synth in his factory, which means his security protocols. He failed to secure an Imperial asset against synthetic. What would it be called? Like, well, she's a serf, but like, she would become like an indentured servant. Like this is the next level down. right? Okay. So like, yeah, infiltration or whatever. Okay, so the Eridanos Baron is employing a synth, which means he failed to secure it, which is a crime punishable by significant fees, potential loss of title, etc. Remember, imbalanced justice, right? It's not as bad for him. So he might be able to talk or bribe the PCs out of it. In which case, if the PCs confront him, he claims truthfully not to have known, blames Prism and Crux, Baron Song, Crux Song. What was his title? Oh, yeah, he's the Baron Song. It's the Eridanos Viscount, right? Let's look at my list. Yeah, the Eridanos Viscount. Okay, so Viscount. So the Viscount is employing a synth, which is illegal. And Baron Crux Song for being for getting in his way, for basically like, for framing him or interfering. He attempts to bribe the PCs with credits, then throws himself at their mercy if that doesn't work. Let's see. The Baron Song contacts the PCs and offers to help resolve anything that needs resolving. Basically, he wants the Viscount stuff. He's just trying to, like, meddle, right? So the Baron is like, "Hi, how can I help you with this? Please, I have people to assist you." Yeah, so the Viscount, and then I think if that doesn't work, and if they still want to press the issue, he threatens them. Right? Not physically, but like, you don't know who you're messing with, etc. Right? Typical, like, whatever, white collar criminal shit. Okay, cool. What other fallout do we need to know here? So they need to deal with Serica. They need to deal with Sardica, the Viscount, and with the Baron. Anything else on the planet? I don't think so. I think that's basically it. And this should take us to the end of our first. This should take us to our first like act break, which is good because that leaves me with two more hours of post stuff. Zev has said many times there's a toggle button on the character sheet to go from edit to action. Zev, I'm gonna take a look just for you because I know you really want me to see this. So it's at edit mode, but then oh, I see. So okay. All right, cool. This character sheet's quite different from the ones that I'm used to. So then that just sets it into, and then you roll. Yes, I'm so good at role-playing games. Pew, 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 pew. There we go. Great, good, okay. So let's see. We got all this stuff going on in the aftermath. And then I guess reward XP. So like everybody gets 2 XP for retiring the filthy Robo-Man. Right? Everybody gets 2 experience if you succeed at that. Everybody gets 1 XP if they punish the other criminals. The Baron and Sarika. Killing her counts. And that'll be the XP for the quest. Right, the Viscount. You don't want to punish the Baron. He didn't do anything wrong. He's just playing by the rules. Okay. So part of what I want this to be is like show off how the nobility can't directly attack each other, but use the structures of society to go after one another, right? Like, the Baron Song has wanted the Viscount stuff for ages, but it's like, if I go after you, then your boss will be mad at my boss, and then it'll like move up the chain to a point where I will not get what I want. But if these cops arrest you, then I can get your stuff, which will be good for me. So that's how I can go after the Viscount. Yeah. Perfect. Okay. I mean, they could duel, but the Baron Song can afford a better duelist than the Viscount. The Viscount is poor, and ultimately, if Baron Crux Song waits long enough, he would be able to buy out the Viscount. But in this case, he can just get this shit for free. He can convince the PCs, like, we need to keep making this protein, or the planet's gonna starve. These are important factories. Turn them over to me. I'll take care of the paperwork. You don't worry about it. You let me handle it. So that's that scene. So this is like multiple scenes. This might take a while. And then at the end they get their reward XP. And then, so like Act 2. And I guess I should indicate that this is Act 1. We talk about the ship. And go from there. Okay. I mean, being a duelist in this party would be useless. They would not be a welcome addition to the group. There's no use for a duelist in this group. Like, I think if somebody said to me, hey, I want to be a duelist, I would be like, you don't really fit in to the rest of the crew. Like, what purpose do you have? Like, why would that be a thing? That's why nobody is one or whatever, right? Like, it isn't like a good fit necessarily. It strikes me they're not really the kind of nobles that require a butler also, but yeah. A bodyguard, yeah, maybe, but nobody here is like important enough. Maybe Nomi's bodyguard, but that's kind of what Muscle Boy is, whether he knows it or not. Okay, so Act 2. Act 2 is the debriefing, right? The debriefing. Now, the goals of Act 2 is to illustrate a return to normalcy, reinforce good behavior, mitigate with social and authoritative pressure, bad behavior, right? You're off the case, McGarnagle, right? This is the like, what they did good, then the boss is like, you did good, and what they did bad, you did bad. Introduce some crew relationships, and then and that's it. Like, just return to the, like, show off ship life. We're explicitly not giving them another mission right now. Also, I guess, mechanically, get the players to write their own goals. Okay. All right. So, when they return, they're called into the office of... I don't think the captain would even deal with this stuff. They're called into the office of, what's his name? Richter. We got to come up with the ship's judge. Let's come up with a name for this person. Maybe they have an Icelandic name or a Finnish name. What do we got? Ari. Ooh, Ari's a good one. Ari Asaki. Let's make that Japanese. Yeah, Ari Asaki. So that's the name of our judge. Richter Crux Isaki Ari. And they into a meeting with Richter Crux Isaki Ari. So Richter Ari or Richter Isaki, I guess. Okay. for a debriefing. The Richter asks for a rundown of what happened from Booker, then has some follow-up questions for the group. The purpose of this is not to revisit what happened, right? So the purpose here is to reinforce good behavior, killing the synth, punishing lawbreakers, reporting on suspicious, noble, and corporate behavior, which we call in the business snitching. Which is to say the Richter wants them to snitch on anybody here. And then reinforce good behavior. So any of these things, they're like, good. You did right. And then also acknowledge sacrifice. If anyone died, make a huge deal of it. Even the NPCs. Because like they get a funeral, scene in the mess hall with sad officers, etc. Like people get drunk, it's a whole thing if somebody dies. To acknowledge their sacrifice. Lots of patriotic words about like they died in service to humanity. Have the chaplain there. Make it a big deal. Okay, so there's that. And then also reinforce, counter reinforce. What did I say? Mitigate bad behavior. Okay, so. Call out indecision, reprimand, inaction, mercy, or uncertainty. Review the decision-making process. And then, like, if they were particularly bad, like threaten court-martial, that kind of thing, right? Like, if they really goofed up and, like, treated the synth well, or like a person, one of the red shirts rats them out and threaten court-martial, etc., right? This isn't how we do it around here. Yeah. Okay. So that's the thing. And then individual follow-up. Nomi is asked to stay behind and report to the Richter on the thoughts, feelings, and actions of the other party members. Make her seem special and important in a way the others aren't. Set her aside. Make the party suspicious and distrustful of her. Because she's there. I'm making her narc on them. So that's the jam. Okay. So yeah, that's the individual follow-up on Nomi. And then other scenes. What does Booker do when he's not busting heads? A scene with... This is going to be fun. A scene with Jason and his rival in the gym. A la beach volleyball, Top Gun, etc. Buff boys. So his rival, I've already decided I need to add her to the dramatis personae. We're gonna go Jason's rival, a hotshot mecha pilot with a chip on her shoulder. And she, what house should she be? Reticulum? She feels like a reticulum to me. She's either an aquila or a reticulum. Let's make her an aquila, maybe. We'll figure it out. So her name, I wanted her to be. Let's see. Let's give her a. Oh, I need her name to be feminine. There we go. Ileana. It's a little. Here, let's take out the Lithuanian part. Aurelia, a little close to like an actual person I know. Juana's pretty good. Cecilia's good. I like that. Cecilia Cinta. It's got that. I like that, the alliteration. Yeah, it's rivalry and it's like sexual tension. It's like I hate you, but I love you. Oh, Cecilia, you're breaking my heart. All right. So yeah, let's call her Cecilia. And what did we say her last name was? Cecilia Cinta. Aquila Cecilia Cinta. I like it. So Aquila Cinta Cecilia. Cynthia. Yeah, okay, that's better. Cynthia Cecilia, and she's an Aquila. Okay, so that's Jason's rival. So why is that in gray? Black. There we go. Okay. So she's like, they're gonna have like a push-ups contest or something, and she's gonna give him a hard time. I think that she's like, well, you're down there playing bodyguard. I beat your record in the like flying simulator. So yeah, basically, and they both have like friends on their side, and they like, yeah, it's good stuff. I like it. And she's a Triari. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Triari. That's her like title. Because she's not that important. But she could be Jason's rival. Ooh. She's like Vasquez a little bit. But I want her to be more feminine than Vasquez is presented. She's like Michelle Rodriguez is the name of the actress. Yeah. Triari is a mecha pilot. Perfect. Okay. All right. So that's her name. She's a hotshot mecha pilot with a chip on her shoulder who has it out. She wants to be pilot. You only got to be pilot because everybody loves you, you kiss ass. Let's fight and then maybe smooch. But fight. Look at my muscles. Yeah, I like her. She's good stuff. Okay. So a scene with Jason and his rival. I want Riley has to report to her acre representative VI. Tells her she only has 123 more years left on her contract. And would she like to mortgage her contract for a cool new car? Like, basically the idea here is just to reiterate, like, you're poor, and also to show, like, people, unless she really goes out of her way to, like, make friends, people don't like her. And then we had our scene with Nomi. So we've got one scene with each of them, and then I want to ask questions. Because remember, this is what really matters, right? Is like we're here to learn about the characters, and I want to let them kind of set some scenes too. So like, Nomi, someone on the ship has a crush on you, but is too scared to say anything or really talk to you at all. Who are they? Tell me more about that. Do you? Of course you know about it because you're a fucking psychic. Who are they? What? And then maybe we can have a scene with them. Are they a noble? Like, give us a little more information about this person. I'm guessing, and I'm gonna suggest that it's probably the ship's kind of lost Lyran, who's like, I don't really know what to do on this cop ship, but I've been assigned to it, and I think you're great, Nomi. So I'm gonna follow you around like a weirdo. So this gives me an opportunity for a relationship that Nomi might have. And then Jason, who tell me about your crew, right? Like your friends, your buds and pals on the ship. How well do you know them? Who supports you when you need it? Who in your group is the outsider? Like, what's the deal, right? Tell me a little bit about that. Because Jason's quite young, and I think he's got some like academy buddies that are with him on the ship. And then Booker, why aren't you married? What's your problem? Drinking? Gambling? You a big jerk? Why? What's the deal? Tell me about your social life on the ship. Right? And this is part of like kind of this scene. I'm going to be like, "So, Booker, where do you go? What do you do?" And then Riley, talk to me about engineering. You're technically an indentured servant, but you've got skill, experience, and command presence. How? Wow, that's spelled terribly wrong. There we go. How do the nobles react to this? Who is envious of you? Who treats you like an equal? Okay, there you go. Yeah, and I mean, this isn't me asking. Some of this stuff isn't me asking as, like, Adam. This is me asking as society. Like, Booker, why aren't you married? You're old. You're old. You should have had a desk job. You should have a wife. Are you divorced? How much of a cop cliche are you, Booker Greaves? And why? Please help me understand. You ever retire a human by mistake? Yeah, so that's some questions to answer. And this, I mean, honestly, the second act is all just going to be making up characters and figuring out what the ship looks like, so that the players can have goals both in their job and then also otherwise. I want to see them when they're off duty, right? Yeah. And then this lets me invite them into building the world with me a little bit. I don't know necessarily. I guess I could come up with some names in advance. So like the owner's representative is an Eridanus. Because this is an Eridanus funded ship. Obviously the Valen navigator is Vela. Chief medical officer. I mean, it'd be a cliche to make them a Serpens, but I think they might be. And that creates some potential camaraderie or rivalry between Nomi and this person, this chief medical officer. Okay. I don't need the XO right now. I don't need TAC ops. Chief engineer, maybe. I'm gonna make the chief engineer a triangulum. Okay. Okay, let me look at Far Verona. I need to look at the wiki. Because I need to look up where is it? I need to look up the titles for some of these people. So Vela. House Vela. What is a generic like mid-level navigator title? Ooh, bright blue uniform with face veil. Excellent. Okay, thank you for that little detail, House Vela. However, with face veil, however, modified for Crux service. So like a purple and black, there's the shoulder badge. They're on a Crux ship, so that's a thing. Okay, so they need a title. Yeah, navigator. Maybe just navigator. Let me take a look. Those who navigate. Yeah, immerser. Okay. Currently active navigator. Right. Colloquially used title is navigator. Okay, so navigator. Vela. Let's give them a... Let's give them a cool name. Let's go. Nice. Sujin. Okay, her name is Sujin. Oh, I should start getting like gender markers for some of these people. Okay. And I need a last name for this person. So let's see. How about let's make her last name French. Sujin Arnaud. That's good. I like that. Sujin Arnaud. Arnaud Sujin. Okay. And she's the lady. Boop. And she's a lady. And there we go. Here, I'm gonna just put these down here for later reference. And I need a good one for non-binary folks too. I don't know is there like a people with more knowledge of these things than me? Is there a easy to use symbol that I can pull that I could use for non-binary folks? I'll figure it out because there definitely is a few on the ship. Okay, so the triangulum chief engineer. I'm really tempted to give them an Irish, a Welsh, or a Scottish name, but I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna. Let's give this person. Arthur's good. Ooh, Johannes. Yeah, Johannes is good. Johannes. Triangulum. And let's give Johannes a Nigerian last name. How about... Oh, these are all really good. Oh, this one's good. And this would be a really common one. Triangulum Ibrahim Johannes. House Triangulum, do you have titles I can steal from in the wiki? Let's take a look. House Triangulum. So title discipline. Okay, so something engineer. Lord Engineer, I guess. Oh my god, Triangulum has all these different variations of their crest. These are beautiful. These emblems are great, y'all. So this person is in engineering. So engineer, Lord Engineer. Lord Engineer is such a good title. Triangulum Ibrahim Johannes. Cool. All right, I like him already. Kind of sounds like South African. Yeah, surname before given name. Yep, just like everyone else in the empire. Ibrahim is his last name. Johannes is his first name. Same with her. Her name is Sujin, and her name is Cecilia. Everybody's given name comes last. Okay. All right. No, the ship's captain would never be a Pixis. This is a Crux ship. Come on now. There's no Pixis on the ship. Though they might pick one up later. Pixis are off doing things that are not law enforcement. All right, so I need a Serpens. And I think I'm gonna make this Serpens also a dude friend. And let's give this Serpens a something like let's give this Serpens like a Hindi or Indian, yeah. Sanjit. That's such a good name. Okay. So Serpens, Sanjit, and he needs a practitioner. Okay. Thank you, Paul. Practitioner Serpens. Sanjit is his first name. I need a last name for him. He's not, his first name is Hindi. He doesn't have to necessarily be Hindi. Let's give him a Chinese last name because there's a lot of them maybe. So like Lao or Yang, like a fairly common Chinese last name. Let's see. Let's see. Zhao. Yeah, maybe something like that. Yeah. All right. Practitioner Serpens Zhao Sanjit. So this chief medical officer on the ship. And I think probably that's all I need. We're not gonna see necessarily these folks. The chaplain is also a crux. So let me just grab a title for the crux, but like works for the church, obviously. Chaplain would be the title. Chaplain. And I need a name for this dude. So let's name him Murtaz. That's intense. I do like some of these names though. Jacob, Gala, Ambrosi. Ooh, Ambrosi's a good name. Yeah. Okay. Ambrosi. And he needs a good last name. Let's see. Let's give him a Portuguese last name. Portuguese last names. Let's call this guy Da Rosa is pretty good. Oh, I kind of want like a 2-part one. Oh, D'Souza. There you go. Chaplain D'Souza Ambrosi. Excellent. Okay. Okay. And for now, in my head, the chaplain is a man type person, but that might change before they reach the stage. And then the ship's judge is also a dude. I think the captain's a lady. We just haven't met her yet. Captain Chiodo. We haven't met her. Okay. Good. I think. So it's De Souza. Okay. It's 6 of one, half dozen the other. It's just me writing it down so I know how to pronounce it. Great. Okay. Perfect. So I just have names. This is just being prepared in case I need them. And then we'll have the name generator for anybody that the PCs need to come up with as we go. So I think that's it. I think I'm ready. Like I said, like I mentioned, this was just gonna be a short one to make sure that I'm prepped for the session. We're gonna be live with the new episode in just a couple of hours. So I hope you will tune in to see if any of this, because if you watched the first episode, you know very little of this actually made it on screen. So we'll see. We'll see how much longer they spend on the planet and what kind of stuff we got to wing and what stuff ends up getting used. But now I have prep. I know that I am prepared. which is ultimately all that really matters, right? So cool. All right, everybody. Thank you for coming. We will see you in just a couple of hours for the show. And then again, I guess the next GM thing that we've got prepped, if we don't do another like episode prep, the next thing will be the faction turn. So get on it, my friends. That's it for me for now. See you in a couple hours. Bye, everybody.